And to make beautiful wafer paper pansies, you will need to download my template, link in the description or on my website. And I'm going to use wafer paper because pansies are smaller flowers. I'm going to use my scraps. You can see I have a few pieces of wafer paper. And if you never worked with wafer paper, usually it has two sides. One side is bumpy and the other side is shiny. Today we are going to use this bumpy side as our face side because I wanted to have some texture. And to cut my wafer paper, I'm going to stack 3 layers of wafer paper together like this, and I'm going to cut my flower. And don't forget that you need to save your scraps, because then you can make your wafer paper glue, wafer paper snow, and other decorations. I will put a link up top so you can learn how to reuse your wafer paper scraps. So now I have my petals prepared. You will need one of each to create one flower. And I'm going to use my acetonic, which is a mixture of water and glycerin. Recipe is in the description. And for my color, I'm going to use this burgundy gel color. And because I wanted to create two-tone flower, I'm going to mix this in 2 different shades. So here's a drop of my gel color. I will add my mixture, and I will need 2 brushes, one for darker shade and one for lighter. I will start with my top petals because these 2 petals are going to be the lightest shade, and I will also bring my floral pad, what I can use to shape my wafer paper. And I will take my cornstarch and fluffy brush to prevent wafer paper from melting. So what I'm going to do first is I take just a tiny amount of this gel color and mix in with my conditioner. I'm using gel color, regular gel color. It mixes in with wafer paper conditioner very easily, and probably just a touch more. You can use a scrap piece of paper, wafer paper, or regular kitchen towel to check your shade and see if you like it. And to condition my petals, these are my top 2 petals. I'm going to apply this conditioner mixture on both sides. First on the bumpy side and then on the shiny side. And I'm going to transfer them onto my floral pad. And apply a small amount of cornstarch to stop my wafer paper from melting or being misshapen. What I'm looking for is to make my wafer paper not sticky, so I can shape it. And there are different ways to shape wafer paper. First of all, at this stage, you can put it into a veneer. Any veneer you like would work for wafer paper. Or you can use something like a veining stick or Dresden tool. I'm going to use my Dresden tool and just create a few vertical lines to give it a little bit more movement. And same here. Also, because I wanted this wafer paper pansy to be a little bit more realistic, I wanted to pinch my petal at the bottom and give it a little bit more movement like that, and I will set it aside to dry. Just don't be afraid to pinch or shape your wafer paper the way you want it to. The more movement you give, the interesting your flower will look like at the end. And for my side petals, so here are 2 of my side petals, these are going to be my transitional petals. So first I'm going to apply my darker shade, and for that I'm going to take my conditioner mixture, the same, but add a touch more gel color. And you can see I'm mixing it separately, and if I need, I can add more liquid to my palette. So this is about the shade I think I'm going for. And I will start with my brush and paint here at the center a few lines, because I wanted this part to be darker. You can see the difference between white wafer paper and darker conditioner. And then I'll do the same for the other petal. So I will apply my conditioner on both sides and stick it onto my floral pad. Apply cornstarch to prevent wafer paper from melting, also on both sides. And it depends on your humidity. If you live in a humid climate, you might need to use more cornstarch. If you live in a dry climate, try to skip using cornstarch to prevent wafer paper from becoming too brittle. And for these particular petals, I'm going to use my small ball tool and just run around to cup these petals like this, and I will set it aside to dry onto my palette as well. Now I have my largest petal or bottom petal to deal with, and the same, I'm going to use the same colors, the same mixture, darker conditioner on the top of this petal, and then lighter to the rest of my petal. Almost like watercolor painting when we mixing colors using water. In this case, we're using wafer paper conditioner. And to shape this petal, you can see this is my front side, so this is my bumpy side. I'm going to turn it upside down to my shiny side and use medium-sized ball tool to cup it this way, and then turn it here and run my ball tool to shape it inward. So this is the shape I'm going for. And also, if you have something like an owl or toothpick, you can use it to help you shape your wafer paper as well. Another option, if you wanted to make your flowers relatively quickly, you can use just plain wafer paper conditioner. You can see no color, and I can take all my 5 petals at the same time. So I'm going to make my flower in a white color, and then I'm going to use gel color to paint. I'll show you that as well. So here I have my large petals, and because I didn't need to color, I'm going to apply my conditioner only on bumpy side to be able to shape my wafer paper on all my 5 petals, because I know my humidity and I can control shaping 5 petals at the same time. Sometimes that's what I do, but you can see I didn't apply any cornstarch because I know that I will need to work on these petals in a moment. So here I have my petals. Now I'm going to take a touch of cornstarch and shape them the same. So a few lines here. These are my large top petals. My side petals I'm going to cup inwards. And my bottom petal on the outside, turn this way in and in the middle. And I'm going to set them aside to dry, and I'll show you how to paint with gel colors. Now that our petals are dry, let's paint and assemble wafer paper pansies. I'll start with my bolder colors. And first, I know that these are my top petals. These are my side petals, and this is my bottom petal. So you can clearly see the color already. To emphasize these colors and to make it look even more interesting, I'm going to take black color. I'm using airbrush. You can use just gel color or even an edible marker if that's what you prefer. I like painting fine lines, so I use liner brush number 0. And because I can load this with gel color or airbrush color and get a very fine line. I'm going to emphasize and create distinctive pansy lines on the bottom petal. If you worry that you don't like the size of your brush, you can always test on a paper towel or a scrap piece of wafer paper. And I will put only links down below where I buy my supplies. So I'm going to hold it with my finger, and that's about the shape I'm going to paint. Larger lines first, and then a few thinner lines in between. Like this. And same for the sides petal, but here I'm going to paint final lines from the top to the middle. Same for the other petal. So here is my wafer paper pansy. And to assemble, I'm going to use wafer paper glue, which is a mixture of wafer paper and water melted in the microwave. I put a link to the tutorial how to make your own wafer paper glue. And again, I will take a small brush and start assembling my wafer paper pansy with these two petals first. And if you look at wafer paper pansies, these two petals usually overlap, something like this. Then I'm going to add my side petals here and on the other side. And then I'm going to add my bottom petal. And because wafer paper glue dries very fast without melting petals or wafer paper, you can play around and you can move your petals and place them the way you wanted to. Now I have my first wafer paper pansy flower, and I put it in a painting palette or something round shape to dry. And let's paint our white wafer paper pansy. I'm going to use this violet color, just straight gel color from a tub. And I will take a small angled brush to apply a touch of color on my outer petals, on my top petals. So I'm going to brush just on the outside to shade my wafer paper without melting and using any liquid. So these are my top petals. For my bottom petal, I'm going to use this color to shape it or to paint here on the bottom, like this, and a few lines down to blend it with my petal. And for my side petals, I'm just going to paint a few lines. You can use an angle brush or liner brush, as I used black for my previous petal. And now to assemble my petals, I'm going to use the same method. I'm going to bring my wafer paper glue, small brush, stick these two petals together first, because you can see they do have a lot of movement, so it's easier to build your flower when it's not laying flat. Two side petals and my bottom petal. These are side petals and my bottom petal. So here's another wafer paper pansy flower. I'm going to set it aside to dry. And all we need to do is add gold or some bright accents in the center. And now the last step I wanted to add gold accents to my flower. I have edible gold powder. You can mix it with alcohol or even water or wafer paper conditioner, up to you. I just wanted to create a thick paste that I can use to add accents and bring my flower to life. Place it here in the middle. Just a small accent, you can see how beautiful it looks on the flower. And for my darker one, it is going to be even more obvious right here. So now you have it. You can see how easy to make these wafer paper pansies, and they're going to look beautiful on your cakes or cookies. You can make them smaller or larger, any shade or color you like.